Okay, today I'm gonna show you how to basically use Paystack basically with your website. If you're a developer, I'll make it simple. I'll show you how to do it then using the basically using the API, and so you can do payments on your website or your store or whatever application you have. So let's go. I'm using Node.js, by the way. I'm using Node.js, JavaScript, and HTML. So let's go. This here will be our file, right? There's our public right here, and this is the HTML. So I want you to create the HTML in your public folder. Let's take this out. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna make a button. The first thing we're gonna make is a button, basically. So the first thing we're gonna do is make a button. So I'm gonna go in here, and then I'm gonna make first a header, so we know what's going on. Pay now. That's what I'm gonna do, and here in the bottom I'm gonna make a button. I'm gonna make a button, right? I'm gonna make a button, and I'm gonna give this button a class of ID, and the ID is gonna be pay btn, and then price. Do a price. I'm gonna do this here, R and 100 rand. So what I'm doing here, what I want to do here, when I click this button here, I want to be redirected to the Paystack payment page when I click this button. That's what I do. So what I'll do now, I'll create a JavaScript. I'll put my JavaScript right here with a script code. Okay, now we got our JavaScript area ready. So right now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to first have to make the pass, give the so first I'm going to do, I'm going to give the button some functionality. So I need to first call out the, what's this thing you're called? Let's call out the button first thing. So write document dot get element by ID, and the ID is this pay this whatever. It's basically pay btn basically, and then add an event listener. Add an event listener. Event listener, which will add a click. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do here, right? When I press this button, I want something to happen. What is that there? I want to create basically a payment. Cause what's the goal here? The goal is here. What we're gonna do? We're gonna take the information, right? Let me give you an example. Right? Let's say, right, you're buying something, right, in the website, right? So every time you press a button, actually in the website, what's happening is that you are creating a payment. Basically, you are creating a payment, which will be a post request to that endpoint in your backend, an endpoint to the backend of the website, basically. So what I'll do here, I will basically use async. Right here, I'll use an async, and then I'll use a try catch. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but that's why I'm used to doing this here. First thing, right, for errors first, let me do the error part first, the error handling there, which is basically the AI giving me something here. Okay, I want to make basically the URL first. Our URL, the URL could be anything, because we didn't yet make our basically our backend. We didn't make our backend yet. So I want to start like this just to make it more easier for you to understand. So like this here, right? Const, and then we're gonna do URL equals to, and then we're gonna do like this here, the URL, which is basically gonna be an HTTP PPP localhost. Okay, just check out that name. Okay, I don't know about checkout. Let's just call it another name. Let me just call it payment. Oh no, actually you can actually call it checkout. Let's just call it checkout for now. Let's just call it checkout. Okay, now what do I do? I'm gonna use fetch from JavaScript. That functionality, I'm gonna use that there, which I will call it const, and I write res or request, and I write await, which is this is async, by the way, and we do fetch, and we do the URL, basically URL, right? This is the URL. This here will be our root. This is our root. Checkout is our root in the backend. So what I'm going to do here, I want to basically create a payment. I'm creating a payment. So I'm going to use a post request, a post method. So what we're going to need here, right, next to our URL, we're going to need three things. We're going to need a method, we're gonna need a header, and we're gonna need a body. The body is the way we're gonna basically send our information to the backend, right? So right now, let's create this here basically. So I'll put some curly brackets right here, right? Curly brackets right here, and I'll create a method basically. And the method basically is just basically a post basically. It's just a post basically, which is a post, capital letters of course, and then we close that thing there. We put comma, and then we use a head. We use a header, right? We make a header basically. Our headers are like basically basic headers. We're gonna use basic headers basically, not too much. And then next thing's our body. Basically, you can see the VS Code is giving me the thing there, so I don't have to write the whole thing basically. And what's in this? What's in your? Okay, first thing we're gonna have our email and amount. Basically, you can even have a name, whatever you want to do. But for me right now, I'm gonna have this here basically. You also can have authentication, of course, if you want. Okay, it's giving us that. Okay, no problem. Fast forward that. Okay, now, so what's actually happening here, right? This is a post request, right? So whenever I click this button, right, what's going to happen? Whenever I click this button, basically we basically creating a payment, and then the user's email, and the amount goes to the backend. Basically, all this information we're sending to the backend, basically creating. We're using a post request, and we're going to the backend basically, meaning we're creating something in the backend. In this part here, we're creating what? The payment in the backend basically. I don't know how to explain this well here. I'm trying my best just to explain this here, but yeah. Okay, now what do I want to do? Alright, when we when we press this button, right, we're going to be redirected to the payment page in Paystack. We're redirected there, right, in Paystack, the payment page. So what are we gonna do? So what I'm gonna do right now, yeah, I'll write the code to direct us. Let me just show y'all, right? Let me just show y'all first before we do that. Then like const data. I'm gonna write here data equals to await, and then we write res.json basically, right? Const, what's wrong here? What did I do wrong? Const is right spelling, data is right spelling. What's wrong? Oh, why did I close this mistake? One. Okay, I thought that. My bad. Okay, now it's right. And this, yeah. Now it's right. Okay, brackets, guys. So, okay, now I'm gonna show you all in the. I'll show you all in the what's this thing called? In my my script basically. I'll show you all this. Let me just log it out. I'll just log it out for you all. Console log. We'll log out the data first. First thing, I'll log out the data to show you all this. Yeah. Okay. Press this bad boy. Oh no! I can't log out the data because I basically didn't make the backend. So if you made the backend, you can log out the data and you can basically see the URL area. But because I didn't do that there, we can do that later. But for now, okay, I'll just do const. What we want to do here, so we're going to use window. We want to basically redirect ourselves, so we redirect ourselves to the URL we're redirecting ourselves to. Know that the JSON, like this JSON, okay, you see this JSON here, basically this here is a response basically from our backend basically. I think you already know that because that's basic like stuff here. I think you already know that. So I'm going to basically do this here now. I'm going to do this right now. Wait, let me see something here. Oh, my bad. Take out this here. Take out this here. There's no need for you. I don't know, why were you giving me errors before? I really don't know. But anyway, right now, okay, what I want to do now, I want to redirect us basically. Windows dot location. There's location right down there, and dot basically this here basically. If we will console log this data here, we'll see the URL link. We'll actually see that there. I'll show you later. When we're in the backend, you'll see what's going on. Okay, right now we just did this here right now. Meaning whenever we press this button, we'll be redirected to the payment page basically. We redirect to a payment page. Right. Okay. So now basically you must also understand that here when we say the email, right, this is like authentication. We basically verifying our user. We're saying, oh, it's this user here with this email that has pressed the cash out button, basically saying that there. I don't know if my explanation is right or wrong, or it's good or bad, but I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's go to the backend now, right? So I'm gonna go here, this folder called backend, right? We got an app.js, right? Okay, so what we're gonna install is, oh yeah, also Axios, right? So we're gonna do this here. My bad. Quickly paste this right here. Okay, this is what I'm gonna install. See here, right here in the bottom, npm install express axios and .env basically, and press enter right there, and it's basically installing basically. So you can see it's installing. Okay, maybe you also need to install body parser there just in case, because if you're working with JSON, you have to basically have this bad boy in there. So yeah, don't ever forget that there, guys. We don't have unnecessary errors. Okay, so now first thing, we make our server. I'm just gonna fast forward through that there because I think we all know how to make a flipping server. So okay, we just did that there. Okay, we just did that there, right? Okay, right now we just made our server right now, and we can just check our server even works. To run our server, we write node app.js. Okay, our server is running. Okay, it's working. Okay, right now this is the important part. Okay, we need to first import we need import env, and we need import axios. Okay, now I imported axios and env. Now what I want us to do, I want us to go to our Paystack accounts. I want us, because right now I'm gonna go to my Paystack account, and I'm gonna show you how to get basically the API key and all, and I'll show you where to paste it. I mean your secret, not your API key. Right here in your what's thing called, your dashboard, basically in your Paystack, you need to go right down there to settings, and in here from profiles you want to go to your API and webhooks. And what we want to this here and this here right now, because we're testing right now, it's very important. So right now I want you to copy this bad boy here, copy this bad boy here, right, press copy. If you can't see the copy button, just off the I thing, you press that I thing, you'll see the copy button. Okay, I don't know if I'm talking fast, I'm talking normal, but yeah. Okay, now we're back inside. Okay, now we're back inside. Okay, so what I want you to do right now, I want you to go here, right here by your backend, right? I want you to create a file, I want you to create a file, and the file is basically env dot, it's called env basically. And in here, you can call it whatever you want. Okay, so I'm gonna call my one here, capital letters please, Paystack this what's it called, just come, just go right here, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna write this here, and then I want you to paste your URL, that link right here, paste it right here. Okay, save this bad boy here, save. Okay, now go back in here, right? So we can make the that part there, right, the other domain, the root there, right, or endpoint. We can make it here, or we can make another folder where all our roots can stay, which will be much more cleaner to do. And we can just export that root in here, and we can like stuff like that there if you want. But because this here is just a test, I'm just showing you how to do this here. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go straight in. Let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna use app dot, and I'm gonna call it I do app dot post. It's a post, don't forget that it's a post. And then this is where basically the first thing, which will be what, our basically our root. This is the root. You see, this is the root. You can give whatever name you want to give it. My one is called this here, and basically it's the same, like basically making logging and all. It's basically similar, the same. But you must also understand, yeah, right, we're trying to connect to another person's API basically, Paystack's API basically. So meaning what? We also connect to their route. It's gonna be the same like how you do Axios in the front end basically. We have to connect to Axios, or we have to connect to Paystack basically, dating basically. So let's go. It's basically gonna be the same like how we did in the front end. So all we have to do right now, since we're using async by the way, so because we're using async, we do try catch. I like using try catch, not gonna lie. Keep my errors very simple for now, because this is basically a test basically. Console error basically. Okay, and then I'll put the URL right here just in case we have any errors. Okay, URL equals to basically, let me see, is that correct? Okay, basically this URL, yeah, basically use the same, this URL, this is the URL you must be using. Now let's just do this here. This is the simple part. When we do specifically, you can do res.request, same like how we did there. Now it's basically the same thing. We just, all we did here, we're just writing Axios, basically Axios. We're using Axios, we're not using fetch, we're using Axios, and we're writing a post method, and this is basically the URL. Now we're just doing the same thing that we did there before, which we'll have the since the method is already here, we'll have basically the headers. We also include authentication, because we need to be, because we want to call ourselves the user, me the user, the owner basically, the owner of the website, or other words, the user of Paystack, of the account, the owner of that account, whatever. Yeah, and what else? Authentication, that. Oh yeah, and also the data. Basically the data. Basically, first thing I want to do actually, right before, before I go there actually, first thing we have to do, yeah, we have to basically fetch the data. Okay, do it. Okay, right now, right, we got the URL right now. But before that, there, what you want to do first is actually, you want to actually get the user, the information from the front end. You want to fetch that information, like the email and the amount. So const email and amount. We're fetching this data from the front end, and we're taking it here, we bring it here, we're fetching it. This is the part we sent it to. Now we're just fetching that information. Okay, now we go in here, right, const res, and in here we write this, the response. Basically, you can write response if you want here, like response, and write await Axios, which means because we're using Axios, then post, then URL, and then yeah, that's like how we had before there. We basically when I create basically the what's this thing called, create this thing here basically. Okay, this is the email one, and the amount. Okay, you must be asking yourself, okay, what's all this data? Okay, I don't know, this AI is running everything for me, guys. It's like fast forwarding everything. I don't even know how the hell he knows what I'm doing, but somehow he knows. But anyway, the email, right, it uses the email, the currency, which is ZAR. The currency we're using is ZAR, so you can, whatever currency you're using, you can put it there. And what's this here now? You must ask yourself, okay, the amount. Okay, and what's this? This is Kubo. I think it's a Nigerian thing basically. Nigerian cents. I think it's Nigerian cents. Basically, Paystack uses Kubo, so 100 rand basically would be this here. 10,000 Kubo. Basically, it's cents. It's Nigerian cents. So okay, right. Which is basically, this is all the easy part basically. Now the next thing is basically we need the header basically. So go down here and make the header. Next is the header. The header basically, what does the header consist of? The authentication, basically your token and all stuff like that, your authentication, and also this. Take out this here. Change this to your one. Mine is called this. It's called key basically. But for the sake of this here, it's called key basically. Mine is called key. Save that there. It's called key. And now we need to give up. We got 1, we got 2. Okay, we're good. Now I have to give out a status, or in other words, a JSON basically. So let me see why we're outside first thing. This thing here. Okay, this thing here stops. No, 1. This keys. Let me see this thing again. 1, 2. Where we're outside. So now you just have to give up basically a request basically. That's all. I mean this here basically. And the style is 200. and basically response dot that there and stuff like that basically. Response dot that's basically okay, what else? Now okay, this is the next part. Now we need to make a webhook. Okay, right down, okay, right here in the bottom right, we got something called test webhook URL, and yeah, basically you have to write basically a URL like this URL, right? This here is the part for your domain name of your basically your website, right? And then after that here you have to have this, you see this part in the end, you just put that part, but yeah, it has to be your domain name of your website, whatever, right? And you just press save here and voila, right? And then you go back to, then now let's go back to our thing basically. Let's go back here. Okay, right now we want to make a webhook, so right here, webhook. Okay, now the first thing we're gonna do, app dot, right? You wanna write post, you wanna write that, well, you wanna write basically the your root. Okay, I'll just call it that. Just use this here for example. Just take out this part here, no need, unnecessary. Just go in here and write express.json. So right now we do const, we call this here event, right? const.event, and what we're actually doing here by doing this here rec.body, all the information basically of basically that the Paystack will send to us, like when payment stuff, they basically all the information will be basically inside this thing here now about it, the payment. So we'll just say if the payment is basically successful, then do this here. So say event success, then you want to do something like this. Okay, wait, I think I must yeah, so event will say event success. We can just do it like this here, or because I don't also see that thing there, we can just say const, because we just don't want that. They want to say const payment equals, and we basically this here basically event dot data. I mean all the data basically, it's data basically, event dot data const, and then let's just send status of 200 dot status of 200 at 200 and send the message of success or true. Either one makes no difference. Okay, now that we're done, now we can actually run this here and actually see this thing even works. So set up, save this first, save, and let's see does our thing work. Oh wait, I forgot one part there. We what's this thing called here? This part here, the use part here. Okay, so now what you're gonna do here next here, we're gonna say const import basically use part, between use part basically for your from Node.js basically. And then in here you're gonna use basically you wanna direct it to the public folder basically when using use express static blah 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 blah, and write 2 steps basically. Like stuff like we're getting out from here, and we're getting out from the back end, and we're going to the public folder. So after doing that there, you're gonna run basically your server. And now that your server is running, you're gonna go into the and voila, your server will be running 500. I changed it to 500 by the way. Right, I changed to 500 by the way. So anyway, right, when I press here, let's see what happens. Okay, nothing's happening. Let's see. Another problem. Let's go to console. Failed to load resources. And then let's see what the problem is. Script.fetch.URL. I'm gonna check for myself here what the problem is. And let's see. The paths are correct. Let's see, the path is correct. Where's the URL? Oh yeah, this is the problem. You see this checkouts, called checkouts. Copy that and copy checkout and go back in here and just change the part here. You can just change this part here. It's called YouTube checkout or something. Change that to checkout and then bar and do that there. Okay, now it should work. Okay, wait, let's change this patch in the bottom also to 3,000 again. 3,000. No, let's just leave it 500. Let's leave it 500. 5,000. I mean, let's change this to 5,000. Just okay. Now change this to 5,000. Okay, yeah. Now I think the problem is fixed. Now the problem should be fixed. Yeah. It should be fixed. Yeah. I don't know what was that too. What you want from me? That was the problem you needed to solve and then repeat it. Let me go back here. Save that again. So guys, I wonder you came back here to change basically this here. It's actually wrong. It's actually the data dot let me just show you all. Right. Let me just show you all right. Let me just show you all here. You see when you go over a console, right here, you see? This is the name. And it's inside this object known as data. This is the data, this is our data, and this is the object called data. I want you to know that there. So what I'll do, I'll change this here to data, which is there, and we put that name in there. Okay, now if you run it, everything should be running very well. So guys, the problem we don't have this here cursor. Make sure you add this here. It's very important. Whenever you code in the backend, you must always have this thing here, and these ones here. These four are the most important things in coding. Make sure you must always have these things. Okay, now that we did all the changes, fix the problem. Now let's go run this code. So there's the button right there, right? Let me zoom in for y'all. This okay. Now press this here, and then it will redirect us to here, and voila, now we can pay. And let's see what happens when you pay, because I really didn't actually test this paying thing here. Let's say bank authentication, use any of the options below to test the payment flow. Let's test it. Okay, there's Visa, pay is 100, and use another card. Let's see, pay is 100. Okay, payment successful. Your payment, you paid ZAR of 100. Okay, to the card media. Okay, and we press X and we're back to our page. Y'all see that there? Okay, let me just stylish a little bit. I'll come back when I'm done styling this, yes, because I don't like how it looks like. So guys, this is the new thing. Yeah, I just changed it, and when we press here, we should be basically directed to the thing. So yeah, so we can do success, we can do bank. Let's see what's this one, bank authentication, and please click the button below to authenticate your card, and then successful. Press X and we go back. Press X again, and voila, we're back here. And we can just constantly do this here to test. Let's see what other stuff do. Let's see, success, bank declined, use another card, use this, open and scan to pay app. Okay, blah 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 blah. Oh, we can go here. What do you? Basically, this is basically just testing, and we can just see if we press close, and we press X here, and voila. So basically, that's how guys we built it. Let's go. Subscribe for more.